one of the interesting things in that story of the Last Supper is there's a phrase where it says, and Jesus, knowing who he was, put a towel around his waist, knelt, and began to wash the feet of his disciples. The telltale phrase is knowing who he was.
I'm going to the Father, but I will always be with you. But now I must tell you that one of you here will betray me.
Who?
Whoever eats this, I will not. I will not betray you.
Jesus calls Judas friend. And he called other peoples that I would have thought were friends as enemies. And the reason why is Jesus knew what was going to happen. And Judas is a pawn in this big, greater plan. And when they're eating the Last Supper together, he looks at Judas, he says, whatever you got to do it quickly.
Don't be afraid. Trust in God. Trust in me also. You know the way to where I'm going.
We don't know where you're going. How can we know the way?
I am the way. The truth. And the life.
After he goes out, Jesus walks, and in the next chapters of John, 13, 14, 15, and 16, these are his last words. He's kind of summing up his ministry to the guys he spent 3.5 years with. This is the 11 who stayed faithful to him. And in this thing, he says, I've told you these things that your joy will be full and that your joy will be complete. And he says this, if you ask of me anything in my name, I will do it, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. And he says, now you are all clean. He says this in chapter 15, because now Judas is gone. And so I think one of the important lessons here is we probably all have Judases in our lives. People who will betray us, people who backstab us, people who might talk behind our backs, but you don't keep your eye on the failure. You keep your eye on the people who've been faithful.
How did this happen? What are we gonna do? Change the world.
He will bring a new age of righteousness and justice. His power will draw all men to a new world. All people!
I've had reports of a young prophet of Nazareth. It's rumored he works miracles.
They all do.
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.